Welcome to Framework Fortune and welcome back to Framework Fortune Community. I'm your host Ben and we finally have our co-host HHTrader Hal back in the building. How are you doing after your hiatus of hurricanes and dying old computers?
I got a lot of stress off of my chest watching paint dry this week, working and watching paint dry. Had a lot to think about, did a lot of trade studying, watching the markets, proving to myself that phone trading is extremely hard. And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, so Hal learned the hard way that it's not a good idea to day trade on your phone because those charts are hard to see, the patterns and just the bid and ask, all that is too much for a phone. If you're swing trading,
Well,
long-term investment, sure, but day trading, you got to be a crazy person to try it.
yeah, I was green though. I ended green, so it wasn't
Well,
that bad.
well, very nice, very nice. Good to hear. But anyway, it's time for the weekend swing watch list. We're going to go through some of these stocks that was on the previous watch list and see if we're going to keep them and look at a few stocks that we may be adding. So we're going to start with SGMA because this was on Hal's low float scanner, his swing trade scanner, and it was also a big ripper on Friday, running from
Hmm
631 to 916.
hmm
Very low float. What do you think about it? I mean, it's a nice uptrend, but I think this is too high up here. I think we're
It's,
going to have
it's
a pullback
yeah.
because we're way off the indicators. It was all time high, so there's going to have to be some type of consolidation. I think you got the uptrend right there,
hmm
basically following that 200, and then you got this flat top. It just kind of broke out of there.
It definitely moved up nicely. It has been running up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row. So I'm thinking it's definitely in some need of a pullback, but at least a little pullback.
Around 70 might be a pretty strong new support level because that's what it's been doing. It's been building support every time it has a spike up. This is a semiconductor company, so chips are in a shortage right now. Yeah, this is a low float chip semiconductor company. I think it's a no-brainer to keep on the watch list for this next month. IMTE is the other one on the list. And this is the daily chart on it, and I am actually already in IMTE on Webull for a few shares. Has been slowly climbing, but the 10-day crossed the 200, the 50 days about to cross the 200.
I like it the thing is, looking at the daily chart, it's just for entries. It's gonna be hard to jump into that one because I don't know where you got in, but this one's been ripping for quite a while. Let's see.
$5 I think would hold as support, at least try. If it comes back down, that may be a decent entry. As you can see,
16 days of ripping up. So that's quite a bit. So it's definitely in some need of some pullback as well.
yeah, but it's little bits of volume. It's not like this has had big volume in all these little rips. It's just been little bits of buying pushing it up. If it gets
That's
big
the scary
volume,
part.
yeah, yeah. See right there with the big volume, you got a big green candle, but you also got this big red topping wick. Huge candle there.
What's that news on it? Integrated Media Technology Chief Executive resigned. Wonder why he resigned. Did he know something?
Could be. He's continuing his role as the managing director of the company's financial research business. So he's just given up one part, one title. He still has other titles.
You know what it looks like?
What's that?
A-pop.
Kinda.
That's that's what it reminds me of. Just
So
giving
that,
back those gains.
so there's actually on the weekly chart. It's been on an uptrend.
I like this one for a day trade.
Yeah,
With it going up like that, you can literally be swinging this one and just not look for a day. It can run up, I don't know how much, and then be
yeah.
back down. You're like, oh my gosh, I missed all of that.
It's very volatile. So if you are going to trade it, you do want to be keeping an eye on it pretty much every day, just keeping a glance, or maybe set alerts on your phone for price areas. So GEVO is another one that I've been keeping on the watch list since it popped on Thursday. And it didn't give back all of its gains. It did a 50% retracement. So Monday, if it starts pushing back above 7, that would be a continuation pattern.
Okay, so what was the reason for this one, John?
They had really good news. They made an aviation fuel investment plan with Chevron. So anytime a penny stock works with a big company, that's usually pretty good news.
Yeah. That one will probably, I would take this one over that other one, that AM or that IMTE with that catalyst.
Yeah, the catalyst is already there on GEVO. That's why I like it. And GEVO did run all the way up to 1557 at the end of last year and beginning of this year. So it's a known ripper. It actually looks like it's kind of been in this big triangle of consolidation there, and it just broke out. Yeah, so if we break over 7 Monday, it's going to be on for GEVO.
Yeah. And that's one that I will definitely be keeping my eye on. RHE, man, the soul taker. It looks like, yeah, it is fighting quite a bit of a downtrend.
But overall, it's on the uptrend.
Reason to pop back up again and hold its gains?
I mean, they got somewhat decent earnings, and then they were put on the Russell Microcap Index in June.
Yeah, but that wasn't enough for it to hold this gain, so it may be just a kind of fading cause.
Well, it's on an uptrend, though, since December.
Yeah, but it's snapped that uptrend. It's going to have to hold that bottom there, that bottom that got through the uptrend a little bit.
Yeah, right
what's
there.
What's that bottom? Yeah, what's the bottom of that?
$6.
Yeah, if it fades that.
Yeah, but we're way up here. We're up here at this $9 area right now.
Right now, but it could easily gap down. You know how RHE is?
Yeah, it's volatile. Definitely is. That's why I'm keeping a little bit of it down here in these lows to look for that bounce off the trend line, see if it bounces back up or not. Because with the 200s right there, there's a lot of support right through there at 750. SGRP, this one has not been moving that fast, but been pulling back. It did have a little bounce off of that trend line. Let's come back down again. Keeps getting rejected at 180.
The thing is, to be getting this much profit on these pops and giving back, so it got up to the 386.
Mm-hmm.
And broke back down to breaking back down to $2 level is like, it's just not, it's not even gonna show, it wouldn't even be tradable for me. That $2 level is something serious. I do like cheaper stocks, but for it to come down with that much momentum already going, I would have to see it hold up what looks like that double bottom right there. What's that double bottom?
150 basically.
150. Man, if it breaks that 150, it's a one-way trip.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, so we'll take it off. I think that one can go off. Socket, I still am looking for it to break. It did throw a wick up there on Friday above the trend line, or above the resistance line. But it closed back below it. It's getting really close to the end of this triangle. But the thing is, it's probably got about another week or two before it gets to the end of this triangle, before it moves out of this price consolidation.
Yeah, I remember we looked at this earlier. Yeah, this is the one that it always has huge rips up during day trades and huge pullbacks.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful. If you're going to ride this one out, it's one of those you need to set your limit order or whatever order to take profit, because it will pop.
Yeah.
And it will go down very quickly.
Yeah, you can have some very quick pops on it. With it rejecting there, I think it's going to take off for now. Like I said, I think it's probably 2 weeks before we might see it again. It's probably going to fall back down. AATC, this one still hasn't ripped, but still just slowly climbing. This is that one that just started paying dividends. I think
we're still waiting on that cup and handle, huh?
Yeah, that cup and handle. It's got the cup now starting to make the handle. So I think it's worth keeping on watch. It hasn't dropped since we started watching it. So that's a good thing. And then CLWT, this was the one that you liked. And I believe it did get a little candle up, but it does have really strong resistance at $4.
Well, what I wanted to see was this pullback. This pullback to this level. It doesn't look like it gives long consolidation before it makes before it makes a move in whatever direction.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure. What's the bottom of that previous day?
The previous day,
Right here.
350.
Yeah, 350. So if it can stay above that 350, it may be an interesting one to keep on watch.
Yeah, I think so too. So we got 5 on this list for the week: GEVO, Sigma, RHE, IMTE, AATC, and CLWT. And we might add and take away as the week goes on. What do you think about Annie? Annie's been moving still. Had that nice breakout last Friday there, and then dropped the 10-day and bounced back up.
Looking at Annie's daily chart, I believe it's got a lot of momentum downward. If we see it break, I would say the $6 level. Are you looking at the daily chart right now?
Yeah.
So if it breaks that, if it gets close to that $6, I believe it can go ahead and make a nice move down.
Yeah, it could, because that'll be the break of this triangle if it drops below 6. You can see that triangle where look at all these candle tops they hit up here.
Yeah,
You have the
I
one that
just
broke out
don't
of
have
it,
any
which
confidence in that.
we'll see. If Monday it starts rebounding a little bit, start pushing back at above 7, then it could be one to keep an eye on. But it's having a lot of trouble with the 775, 765 area.
I guess you can take into consideration the bottom of this red candle that looks almost identical to it. Not that one, the red candle beside that one.
This one here.
Yeah. So what's the bottom of that one?
Bottom's about 625.
625. So usually if they do the exact same pattern like that, it's not gonna hold up. If it goes down to that 625 and breaks it, we may see a little run down here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to depend. It's going to depend on Monday and Tuesday, because by Wednesday, this thing
it
will
is
be
a
ready.
little channel like you were just drawing right there, across the bottom of that red candle, that's 625.
Yeah, like right. Let's see, bottom of it's like right there. I was kind of looking like right something like that, which would be about 652. The top of that one where it got rejected, and then you can see it was support there for this candle. So it's right around that bottom of that 625. It's basically 625 to 650. I bet. Let's go into a smaller time frame and look closer. Yeah, so there's the 650. Yeah, it's the 650 that's holding up. Look at that. Holding right above 650 on that close on Friday and after hours.
So there's a little double bottom down there on that candle. Could you move that line down to that double bottom is a place where you don't want to see break. Yeah, you see that double bottom right there, and coming the first two candles in the
right here.
aftermarket. Yeah, what is that? 645, 6.
Yeah,
That's where you
645.
really don't want to see a break.
Yeah.
It may crack to 50, but if it breaks at 45,
yeah,
it's gonna be bad.
Yeah, that's it right there, guys. It's got to hold up 645. Worst case, cannot drop below 645. And if it can hold that 650 area, we can see it try to push back up. So it's good to have H&H back, and we'll see him next week in the live stream day trading on HHTrader's channel. If you haven't checked it out yet, go check it out. And then, of course, I will be here on the Framework Fortune channel for the morning live streams, and we'll be talking to each other in the pre-market if we're both available and there to work out our war plans in the morning. Appreciate everybody joining us always. If you haven't yet, go down and tap that little subscribe button. Stay safe out there. Until next time.